Okay, so for this one, it is our applied lab. It gives you all of the steps on the left-hand side, and you go through and do them. Now, I will remind you to check your answers every so often. That way you don't do a whole bunch of stuff and realize none of it actually was right. So the first thing we're going to do is merge cells A1 through G3. So I'm going to put my cursor there. I'm going to go G1, 2, 3. And actually, I'm in the wrong tab. All right, A1 through G3. I'm going to select this one right here. That's our merge and center. And you can actually check your answers. So I did that right. The next one is change the orientation of B4 to G4. And I'm changing the orientation to rotate text up. Step 3 says adjust the width of columns B through G. So I'm going to select B through G, and I'm adjusting the width to 26 pixels. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm actually clicking on it and I'm dragging it over, and that's where you can see the pixels. Now this takes a steady hand, right? And then you can let go. Now there's another way you can go into the data and adjust it there. And then number 4 says use auto fit to adjust the width of column A. So I'm going to actually come in here and double click and it'll automatically fit to the largest element. I'm going to check my answers and I've got the first section correct. I'm going to keep working. So excuse me, I'm going to scroll down here. So I've done the first section of 1 through 4 here. So now I'm on to the today's sales worksheet. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit so you can see everything. There's 7 steps on this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is in cell A2, I'm changing that to long date. All right. And step 2, I'm going to apply text wrapping to B3 over to F3. So I'm going to wrap that text. And then number 3 says change the format of C4 through C9. And that formatting is going to be accounting. And I also want E4 to E10 to also be accounting. That'll take me to step number 4, change the format of F4 to F9 to percent. So I'm going to select percent here and then show only 2 decimal places. So there's no decimal places right now. So I'm going to move it to the right. Now I want to check that one to make sure I did it right. So I'm going to scroll down. All right. Yep, I did the percent. So I need to come back to column B on today's sales. I did not auto fit that. I auto fit column A, but I did the text wrapping and I skipped a step. So I'm going to come back to column B and auto fit that. So that takes me down to step number 5. Add a thin outside border around B3. There's B3 to F9. So I'm going to use my borders here and I want a border around it, but I'm going to choose my line style and I'm going to do the thin border and I'm going to choose outside and I'm going to check that too because that one's an iffy one and if I did it correctly, and I did. So the last 2, apply a bold style to D10 through E10. So here's D, and we're going to go down to 10 and E10, and we're just going to make those bold, and then change the background and text color of B3 through F3. So we want the background and text. So my text, I'm going to do, let's go with blue, and my background's going to be yellow. And I'm going to check my answers. And everything is good. So I can score the lab and send you this recording.